Argofunk Book Review. Argofunk Book Review.
This book was written by Anne Martin, and it's the last book she wrote for the main series. 2 more super specials, and then she stops for good. Mom and Stacy moved back to Stony Brook 30 books ago. They've been living on Dad's child support and alimony ever since. He had a multi-room apartment in New York. That alimony is probably huge. Well, Dad got a new apartment just 12 minutes away from the train station. Nice real estate! So he can't afford to give them as much money anymore. Mom has to get a job. That's when Dad calls to say he got a big promotion. Great! Now Mom doesn't have to get a job. Good for you, Dad. Dad invites Stacy to come to New York for a weekend for his promotion party. I'm jealous. My boss, Mr. Arglefumph, has never given me a party or a promotion. In the subplot, all the neighborhood kids order random things through the mail. They get tie knotters, needle threaders, wart remover, and Vanessa Pike gets bus developer. There are many, many jokes about her bus developer, including the standard joke of how Christy doesn't wear a bra yet. Why do they mention this so often? Seriously, are we building up to a Christy goes through puberty book or something? The babysitters go shopping for dresses, and the main story appears in Chapter 5, when Stacy is summoned to the school office by means of a magical 2-way PA system. Stacy's mom just collapsed with pneumonia. Stacy panics over her sick mother, and she spends the next day by Mom's bedside. Dee Pike helps for a bit. Dee? That's the name of Mallory's mother? Is it short for Deirdre? Stacy calls Dad, who still wants her to come to New York that weekend. He says he can set Mom up with a visiting nurse. Stacy has to make a choice. Which parent will she spend the weekend with? Sick Mom or promotion Dad? Stacy waffles around for 2 chapters or so before she decides she can't leave Mom. Dad takes the news badly.
No, said Dad, sounding choked up. That's not it. You're all I have. I don't know anyone else to invite. Just you. You're all I have, he repeated. Maybe if you weren't a workaholic, there'd be something more in your life, but you're married to your job.
Ow, Stacy! Hating on Dad! Stacy makes a schedule so other people can come by and take care of her mother. The kids receive their items, and they're excited until they realize that the limited edition moon dust is a scam. That's not moon dust, that's just dirt. Stacy changes her choice. She decides to go to the party with Dad and come back to Mom as soon as possible. While Dee schedules more mom sitters, Stacy tries to do homework at Mallory's house. Keyword tries. The girls spend the first 20 minutes setting up the rec room like a study hall. 20 minutes for setting up furniture? Quit messing around and do your homework, girls. Homework time gets interrupted when the Pike kids realize they can't use any of the useless garbage they bought. Not unless they give the bust enhancer to Christy. Dee takes Stacy to the train station. I love calling her Dee, I'm sorry. Dee specifically mentions that 2 sitters will be there with Mom for the rest of the day, so it's very clear somebody is watching Mom. We'll come back to this in a few chapters. Stacy's New York trip is a total disaster. Her train is an hour late, the taxi is slow, and even though they rush as quickly as possible, they are late when they leave to the party. Stacy is a buzzkill at the party. She sneaks out multiple times to call Mom, she can't eat any of the food, and she forces Dad to leave as soon as possible. In this case, as soon as possible means midnight. Wow. Dad, why did you invite your 13-year-old to an all-adult after-midnight party? That was a bad decision. Stacy wants to leave on the 6:30 a.m. train, so she wakes up 2 hours early at 4:30. What? Why did you wake up 2 hours early? Dad lives 12 minutes away from the train station. Continuity! Or stupidity! I don't know which. While Stacy and her dad wait at the train station for hours, we get a weird segment where Stacy wonders what happened to the homeless woman from book 18. She's probably dead. Stacy wonders what happens to homeless people when they die. Does anybody care? Nah, probably not. Is it just me, or did this grim line of discussion come from absolutely nowhere? Stacy gives $5 to a homeless person, and Dad tells Stacy she can't be everything to everyone. Stacy goes home, and she is shocked to find somebody watching her mother. How is this a surprise? Mrs. Pike told you about the one person, your dad told you about the visiting nurse twice, and you were the one who asked Mrs. Kishi to come. How did Stacy forget all about this? Is she a total space cadet or what? Stacy says that Mary Ann's mother came by to help, then she went home. I'm pretty sure she meant Dawn's mother because Mary Ann's mother is dead. Continuity. Anyway, the point of this weird scene is that Stacy messed up with Mom's scheduling. Mom tells Stacy she can't be everything to everyone. There are 2 more chapters with the kids. They go door to door trying to sell their useless garbage. They're cute and they make up silly skits for all their various products, so the adults give them money, but they still don't buy the useless garbage. In the end, Mom gets the big job that she applied for, and Stacy schedules a date with Sam. Ooh, romance! Stacy realizes that she failed her parents by trying to please them both at the same time. She can't be everything to everyone. She apologizes to Mom and Dad, and then she decides to boost her father's ego with a fantastic father award, which he totally doesn't deserve. The end. Post-book follow-up. I've been meaning to say this for several books now. I've noticed the Pikes appear more often in the series now that the ghostwriters have taken over. I can only assume it's because they're easy to write about. You have a page for the journal entry, a page of introduction, a half page for each one of those kids. Hey, the chapter's done before you even start writing it. I don't have much to say about this book. The narration is good, and there are interesting parts when Stacy muses on the nature of divorced families. She thinks about writing a book on divorce for divorced kids, and that's interesting. But this is the 3rd divorce book, and the other 2 books were better than this one, so I don't know. The story doesn't start for real until chapter 5, and we have a longer than normal subplot, which makes this book feel shorter than it actually is. Like, it's got less story than it deserves. The moral of the book was not well defined either. I read the last 2 pages multiple times, and I still have no idea what the lesson is. Overall, I didn't like this book? I don't know. It's not like I disliked this book. It's just I read it and it left no impression on me, besides for minor annoyance that Stacy forgot about the mom sitters. I guess the book is sort of like the cover. It's mostly generic, and we've seen it before, but it's not bad, and I don't know how to classify it. I give Babysitter's Club number 58, Stacy's Choice, a 4 out of 10.